If the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to extend the open hand.
In a crucial moment of his vice presidency, J.D. Vance is in Pakistan this morning negotiating with Iranian leaders as a fragile ceasefire holds up. What demand Iran has already made. And right now, police in York County are scheduling an autopsy for a body in the woods. We'll tell you what we know about their investigation so far. Looking live over Lancaster, another dry day today, a little cooler. You see those clouds out there? Mary Ellen has our pleasant weekend forecast.
WGAL News 8 Today starts now.
Good morning. I'm Bailey Martin alongside meteorologist Mary Ellen Pan with a check on that pleasant forecast, which I like to hear.
Yes, it's going to be a gorgeous weekend. Not as warm as yesterday. We had 70s yesterday, but a front did come through overnight and spit out a couple of showers, but not everybody saw them. But the rain is gone, and you could see the highs yesterday, how warm it was in the low to mid 70s. But with the winds shifting from the southwest yesterday to the northwest today, we're in for some cooler readings. The front is to our south and east. We do have a few clouds out there, but they'll continue to decrease through the morning, and we're looking at plenty of sunshine. Temperatures are in the upper 40s in Lewistown and Selinsgrove. Elsewhere, though, we have temperatures in the low to mid 50s. And with the breeze from the northwest, 5 to 15 miles per hour, that's going to keep funneling in that cooler air. So temperatures won't move a whole lot. As we check out your next 12-hour forecast, we'll climb into the low to mid 60s. So we'll jump about 10 degrees. And you'll notice the wind slowly diminishing as we head through the evening. High pressure overhead will bring us clear skies for tonight, and temperatures seasonable but on the cool side for tomorrow morning. I'll talk about the day for tomorrow, what you can expect, and then the 80s that are heading our way as we head into the work week.
We're following breaking news in Lancaster County. A road is closed due to a crash involving a motorcycle. Dispatch says the crash happened in the area of Lancaster Avenue and South 12th Street in Columbia just after 6:15 this morning. The road is closed in both directions. We're continuing to learn more about any of those injuries, so stay with News 8 for any updates. Right now in York County, an autopsy is scheduled and an investigation is underway after a body was found in Springettsbury Township. Police say a body was found in a small wooded area off of Mount Zion Road around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. When News 8 was on scene, we saw several first responder vehicles in that area. Well, it's been more than a week since Bethel AME Church in Harrisburg was vandalized, causing thousands of dollars in damages, and the place of worship had to cancel Easter weekend services. Now the search continues for the second suspect after police arrested the other Thursday night. Police say 48-year-old Nathan Scott Johnson could not give enough information to identify the second suspect. The pastor tells us he's glad Johnson was caught, and he's praying the second suspect is as well.
I think that these guys are doing devastation to buildings like a church. They can do to anybody, and we don't want to have those kind of guys out there just freely doing what they have done to us.
According to charging documents, ring footage showed one of the suspects running from the church with a red suitcase. You can see that there. The pastor said copper piping, 2 outdoor commercial AC units, 2 microwaves, and the church's water pump were missing. Those were later to be found inside of that red suitcase. Police say he later admitted to using suitcases to move stolen copper through the window. Vice President J.D. Vance and other U.S. negotiators are in the Middle East for negotiations as the ceasefire with Iran hangs in the balance. Vice President said last night that he's optimistic.
I think it's going to be positive.
President Donald Trump accused Iran of violating the truce by not fully opening up the Strait of Hormuz as Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah exchanged new strikes. The president said the ceasefire would only hold if Iran opened the critical channel. Meanwhile, Vice President Vance says the U.S. is ready to talk if Iran is.
If the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to extend the open hand. If they're going to try to play us, then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive.
Iran made demands before talks to end the war officially began. The country's lawmakers say the fighting in Lebanon must end and Iran's assets released before negotiations start. It's not clear if these demands will have an impact on discussions. The war in Iran was among the topics discussed when Pennsylvania U.S. Senator Dave McCormack sat down one-on-one with 8 on Your Side political reporter Tom Lehman. The Republican senator said he's hopeful the effects we are feeling back in the U.S., like higher prices at the gas pump, will ease soon as negotiations get underway.
I think the sooner we can finish up the mission and get home, I don't think there's any risk of a long Iraq-like situation where we're trying to fix Iran. I think the president's clear on that.
Senator McCormack also met with farmers across the state about the effects of higher fuel prices and labor concerns. The national gas average this morning is $4.14. And taking a look at our state gas average, dropping another cent, it's $4.17 this morning. Now up $1.05 since the start of the war. Most Susquehanna Valley counties are higher than the state average. The county with the highest gas price is Mifflin at $4.38. The county with the lowest average is Franklin at $4.07.